What's good, everybody? Is when I coming back at you on the video. So this video I wanted to talk about success, right? And to highlight that success does not require intelligence; it only requires focus. Now, I know it sounds pretty backwards to say, right? Like, what do you mean success does not require intelligence? Yes, it does. Well, of course, intelligence plays a factor in success, right? Of course, but it is not required. It is not a prerequisite that in order for you to succeed, you have to be intelligent, right? Because there's not a direct correlation with like IQ level and levels of success, right? The reason why success does not require intelligence, it only requires focus, is because success is one decision away. Success is the moment you decide that you are going to win, that you are going to get something done, that you are going to accomplish it. And once you make your mind up, that's when in your mind is done. That's what you're fixated on, the end goal. And to say that success is only a result of intelligence is basically saying that you need to be the one to figure it out, that you need to be the one to have all the answers. And in life, that's not always going to be the case, right? There's going to be times where you could say, quote unquote, luck happens, or miracles, right? You hear from successful people all the time, like guys who are, or people who are probably billionaires, right? I've heard it several times from billionaires that they'll say you need a little luck or timing, right, to get there. And that is those are variables that intelligence doesn't account for, right? These are basically the moments where higher power steps in to help orchestrate events to help deliver you what it is that you ask for, right? So success does not require intelligence because the main component to succeeding is having a level of focus. It is making your mind up that you are going to accomplish that given task and working towards that. And that doesn't require intelligence, right? It doesn't necessarily require intelligence. You can do what it is that you can just focus on doing the next logical step, whatever is in front of you, and allowing the rest of the variables that's operating behind the scenes work its magic to help push you forward. Because what you need to understand is that you only know what you know, right? You only know of what's happening in your life and maybe the couple things that are happening in the immediate lives of the people around you, right? But you don't know, and your senses can't pick up the events that are happening behind the scenes, the events that are happening in the lives of other people, right? Because you need to understand there's 8 billion other people living their lives right now, and so many other variables that are happening behind the scenes that you're just not aware of, that you don't have a complete view of the entire world at the same time. So there can be many events happening behind the scenes that will eventually push you closer to your goal that you just don't know of right now. You're not aware right now. You may think that nothing is happening right now, but events are lining itself up. People are lining themselves up. The circumstances are lining themselves up to help get you where it is that you want to go, right? For anyone who's accomplished anything on a grand scale, massive, right? No one has ever done it by themselves. Somehow, some way, the right person entered their lives, or somehow, some way, the right piece of information made it to them, right? Or somehow, some way, they were at the right place at the right time to help propel them forward. And that has nothing to do with intelligence, right? Because the intelligence is basically you trying to figure out the game plan, the steps, and like you having to be the one to know it all and do it. But that's not how the world works. The world, everything is interconnected with one another, right? And what you need to understand is the goal that you're after, what is that you want to accomplish, the universe also wants you to get there. The universe also wants and is pushing you towards it. The universe is working with you to help get you there. And that has nothing to do with intelligence, right? And so you having focus, you focusing on the end goal, right, of accomplishing that goal, that dream, as long as you have your attention on it, you're getting closer to it, right? The answers are beginning to reveal itself to you. It's not about, it's not necessarily about being smart or being the smartest, right? There's plenty of people who would classify themselves as not being smart or intelligent, and yet they're financially successful, right? They're living the lives that they've always wanted, right? That they live a life where they're free and they're happy. It has nothing to do with being smart, right? And there's many of people, yeah, in all industries, right? How many times have you come across someone that you feel is probably in a better position in their life than you are, but they don't seem to be as bright, right? Like, it feels like we've all come across people like, or we've seen them in like online or somewhere, right? Where you're just like, this person is like as smart as a sack of potatoes, but yet everything in their life is going very well for them, right? So this is exactly what I mean, right? It's just, success is not about your IQ. It's about your focus. Succeeding is just all it requires is focus. It's just, if you want something, put your attention on it and think about it, and just have that be what consumes you, right? Because then you'll want to continue working towards and taking action towards that, because that becomes fun and enjoyable because you're on that journey. And then as you're on that journey, you're likely focused on it and you want to continue making progress on that journey. And in due time, right, you'll eventually get there because you're always thinking about it and you're always focused on it. That has nothing to do with being smart or being intelligent, right? And sometimes this might sound backwards, but sometimes intelligence can also be a detriment, right? Because oftentimes, being intelligent, you're trying to actively seek the answer. You're looking for logical explanations for things, and in this lifetime, there's going to be instances where logic can't explain it. That's why we hear all the time, when someone may be, what's the word for it? They may be identified as having a terminal illness, right? But then somehow, some way, and they'll be told, oh, they only have like 2 months to live, and then somehow, some way, after the 2-month mark goes by, they'll get checked again, and then the illness is completely gone out of their system, and there's no explanation. Science can't explain it, so they'll just label it as a miracle, right? There's some instances in life where it can't be explained, so it's just labeled as a miracle. So if we know that miracles can happen, then if miracles can happen with health, why can't miracles happen for other things in life? Why can't miracles happen financially? Why can't miracles happen, with finding a partner or going on a vacation where some events lined up, right? Like, miracles can happen in all areas all the time. And so sometimes your intelligence can hinder you because you're looking for a logical route, a logical explanation, a logical answer. And if you don't see it, then you think it's not possible for something to happen, right? Some of you may be thinking all the time that you may want to, be financially free. And then your intelligence kicks in, and then you're looking at your job and you're looking at how much you're bringing in, and you're thinking to yourself, well, there's no way I can ever reach this income bracket and live in this dream house and travel all the time on vacation and eat wherever it is that I want, because right now, the way my finances are looking, this will never happen. And so because of someone's intelligence or wanting to look for logical answers or explanation, they'll immediately shoot down their dream, and they won't ever think about it anymore because they think it's out of reach, that they're just, unfortunately, that is just life, right? That they're just one of the people that were not chosen for success, right? That they were just born under the wrong star or the wrong tree. Not knowing that success does not require intelligence, that only requires focus. So if they were just focused on the goal, the dream, they'll be consumed by it. They'll fall in love with that idea. They'll think about it from sun up to sundown because that's what they truly want. And that's what makes them happy. And then because they're focused on it, they're thinking about it all the time. And so then they'll be more willing to take action towards it. But more importantly, all the variables that are happening behind the scenes, right? Their mind, right, which is the most powerful tool, their mind will begin searching for the answers, for reasons to make this happen, to make it unfold, right? So success is a decision away. It's when you make up your mind that something is going to happen. It's when you make up your mind that you are going to win, that you are going to receive a prize, receive a reward for what it is that you're working for, right? That you are going to accomplish this goal, this dream. And all that is just focus, right? If you're an athlete, say you're a basketball player and your dream is to one day be an NBA champion, right? You want to have that celebration. That's your dream. Focus on that. If you focus on it and work towards it each and every day, right, that can become a reality, and it will become a reality. It has nothing to do with how smart you are, because oftentimes being smart, we need explanation, we need logical answers, right? We were trained our entire lives to be logical beings, logical creatures. There's going to be some instances in life where logic can't explain it. And so if you're always banking on logic and the logic, it's not adding up, then you'll just give up. And that's why sometimes people who are super smart may not achieve the levels of success that they believe they're capable of or deserving of, because their logic steps in. And other people who have goals and dreams that might seem illogical end up achieving that goal, that dream, or getting to that destination, because they will live their life pretty much delusional, wanting that goal, that dream, and their delusion is what eventually gets them there. And then once they get there, right, because it's inevitable for them to get there, right, then they're no longer seen as delusional, right? They'll be seen as geniuses, that they were just smart this whole time. That is the difference. That is why success does not require intelligence, right? That it only requires focus. So get clear on what it is that you want and think about it often, but also work towards that. Take whatever logical step is in front of you, right? And just know that in due time, right, you'll continue taking steps forward, and in due time, the pathway will reveal itself to you and you'll get to where it is that you're headed. So be patient, be dedicated, be focused, right? Those are the qualities you need to have, and just know that in very, very short period of time, you'll eventually arrive at where it is that you wanted to always go. You'll arrive at your destination. So that wraps up the video. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road once again to 100 subscribers, and we are going to crush the milestone. So I want you there on the journey with me. So once again, guys, it's Joel, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.